Hello everyone. Let me first of all wish you all a warm welcome to the fifth Startup Grind event here in beautiful, warm and sunny Belgrade. Today we will host Đorđe Cincar-Đorđević, who is currently working on several projects, of which probably the most interesting one is the Smart City Challenge, the first Smart City Challenge here in Belgrade, in Serbia. Welcome, Đorđe.
Thank you very much.
First of all, I would like to ask you something about your background, about your childhood. Where did you live? Where did you grow up? Where were you born?
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
I was born and raised here in Belgrade. I'm a typical middle-class child that was born in the midst of the chaos in the 90s here. At the edge of the 20th century when Yugoslavia was falling apart, and of course, like everyone else, my family didn't have much, and we, in order to survive, we had to move to another house, the house that we were building, because we needed to rent the apartment that we were living before the house was still not finished. So I spent most of my childhood living in an unfinished house, which was kind of dangerous from time to time, especially when I was playing with my sister. But my parents always tried to provide me with everything I needed to have a really happy childhood, and thanks to them, I started traveling quite early. I'm really thankful for that. That also broadened my horizons a lot.
Yeah, of course. You mentioned the tough 90s, so did that time made you tougher, do you think?
Well, I would say that it did leave a certain mark on me. I definitely think that I might be a bit tougher myself when it comes to business than, let's say, my peers from other countries that didn't experience something similar. And I had that experience to compare myself to others and to come to that conclusion. So I would say yes, definitely, but not too much. I don't want to go over the limit.
Yeah. So actually the 90s were a good thing for us.
Oh,
today's
let's not get into politics now.
Yeah, of course. I'm just joking. Tell me, do you remember the first time you made some money? And if you remember, what did you spend it on?
Yeah. Well, I was
How
doing
old
chores.
were you?
Yeah, I was doing chores around the house for like ice cream money. It was nothing special, but I guess like it's something that most people do. But I would rather say that my first real money that I earned was I was like second grade of high school. I was maybe 15, 16 years old, and I really wanted money to go to a concert. So I was looking through the ads, and I found a job. Well, it was just like a one-time thing that I had to unload a truck far away from Belgrade, a whole truck with tuna cans. So I was doing that for 5 hours, and my back was killing me afterwards. But I did make enough money to buy a ticket for the concert I wanted to go to.
That's cool. Do you remember what concert was
To
it?
be honest, now that was so far long ago that I don't even remember.
Yeah, but the tuna stays in
Yeah.
memory.
That's why I still cannot eat tuna up until this day.
Tell me, you mentioned the travels, so and I know you've traveled a lot. And tell me, how did that impact you, and how did you benefit from that? Do you like see the advantages of traveling today in business and in life in general?
Definitely, I think that I even consider traveling as my one of my life goals. I want to travel around the world, and everything that I do is also like in part connected with that goal of mine that I want to see as much as I can. And I think that everyone should travel as much as possible. And I'm not saying that you should go and buy a ticket and fly to the Caribbean. No, you should go. If you're leaving Serbia, you should go to Hungary. You should go to Romania. Just leave your comfort zone. Just leave the country. Leave everything you know and see what how other people are living. Like, so you can compare the differences and see that maybe we're not that different. And I think that all the traveling I've done throughout the years have made me more open-minded and definitely more open to new ideas. And what I think maybe I benefited most from was I always picked up some new ideas around the world, and especially these ideas that are considering smart cities. I always tend to notice such things as, let's say, the first time I saw that you can actually see how much time you need to wait for a bus on a bus stop. I was amazed, and that was something that really like marked one of my travels when I went to Germany. And so like all of those little impressions have built up, and now I'm so happy that I can actually help with implementing those ideas here in Serbia.
That's great. I wanted to, yeah, you mentioned that you actually have not just traveled, you've spent some time working abroad. Can you tell us something about that?
Well, I did work for only 3 months on work and travel program in the United States. It was just a basic student job, and what a really rich experience. But I also did spend 1 year abroad on my master's studies in Sweden. So yeah, I also did a few longer travels. So I did spend quite a while outside of Serbia, and that really changed me as a person in a positive way. At least I think it did, and my friends also agree on that. So yeah, while I was in the States, I worked a little bit, also working in order to have something to travel more. Always strive for traveling.
Yeah, of course. And when and how did you make the decision to come back to Serbia and start working, building businesses, projects,
Yeah,
and stuff?
it was last year. I actually graduated from my master's studies last year at Malmö University in Sweden, and that was this really a crossroads for me. I was thinking, should I stay in Sweden because I could build opportunities for me in Sweden as well, or should I come back home and see what I can do? And by spending this 1 year abroad in one of the most developed countries in the world, I really absorbed a lot of things that are good, and I really wanted to bring them back home. I consider myself a big patriot, and I love my city, and I really want to help this city prosper. And furthermore, Belgrade is so full of events, and it's so interesting to live in, that I think Belgrade is a perfect city for someone my age, definitely. I could not live in Sweden while I'm this young.
I would
That's my
definitely agree.
conclusion.
Yeah, you gave me an idea. So you've been in a lot of cities. How would you compare? How would you describe Belgrade to a foreigner?
Oh, well, Belgrade is definitely one of the most dynamic cities you can possibly see, and what I really find interesting about Belgrade is its diversity when it comes to architecture. You can see 3 buildings side by side. One is Ottoman style, one is neoclassicist Austrian style, and the third one is typical socialism. So that is something that is really unique for Belgrade, but the energy, the vibe that Belgrade has, that's something that I couldn't find anywhere else. Maybe New York, but maybe not even in that intensity.
Yeah, that's about right.
Thank you. I'm
Now,
glad you agree.
yeah. Tell me about the Smart City Challenge, because I guess many of the people came here to hear about the competition and to learn from the person who is the organizer.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to start something new that was never seen here, not only in Belgrade, not only in Serbia, but in this part of Europe as well. We really wanted to help. Three people actually started this project. I'm really thankful for having them. Darko is here in the audience, and Masha is unfortunately unable to be here today with us. But 3 of us are all grew up in this city, and we all love it very much, and we all love our country, and we really wanted to help improve it in a way that we can use the technology and new knowledge and skills to make the everyday life in the cities easier. So we came to this idea. We were looking up to similar events in London. That was our main inspiration, the IBM Smart City Challenge in London. But we said, let's make it more adaptable to Serbia and to our situation. So we started pretty modest, and we're already thinking how to make it even bigger next year. But first edition, it's a competition for smart city applications, cell phone applications. So we're looking for the best smart city solutions that you can install on your smartphone and that can help you with your everyday life in a Serbian city. These applications, they do not need to be necessarily only for Serbian cities. They can be scalable. We're actually looking for applications that are scalable. That is one of the goals that we want to achieve. That is the raising awareness about smart cities in Serbia, raising awareness about this concept. We want to educate people. We want to make them more well aware of benefits that smart city technology is bringing to their everyday lives. And the second, maybe more important, is that we want to promote and encourage IT entrepreneurship in Serbia. We want to help our young programmers stay here and work for themselves. We don't want to see them all the time leaving for California and working for somebody else, because this is something that we're good at. Serbia's IT sector and software is one of the highest export products coming from Serbia, and we want to help it grow, and we want to help young people position themselves in this sector.
Yeah, that's cool. Belgrade is currently not really a smart city. So would you introduce us to some examples from other foreign cities that are advanced?
Okay, well, I would not agree with you completely that Belgrade is not a smart city. We have some positive steps that are taking place right now that we find interesting, that we want to encourage and develop some more. It's still, like, those steps are a bit shy, and they can definitely go way further than what we currently have. But one of our largest inspiration were the cities in Western Europe and of course in the United States. London is an amazing city that uses technology to benefit its people. But I would rather mention some of the cities that I've been to and that I have experience with, let's say Copenhagen, because I lived in Malmö. That was just across the bridge from Copenhagen. It's an amazing city that uses technology that oblige itself that they will be completely carbon neutral by 2025, which is an amazing result. They're using smart technology in building their buildings and making them more insulated in order to prevent energy waste. They're using renewable energy sources, and what is best, their traffic is almost centrally organized. All traffic lights, I think over 80% of traffic lights is monitored from one HQ, and they're synchronized, and they're always yield to buses and public transport, which makes using the public transport much more efficient. I would also mention Helsinki, which also has like 100% of smart meters in the homes that are measuring electricity and water spendage and everything else in the homes. I would also like to speak a little bit about Tel Aviv that won the smart city, the best smart city of the world in 2014. They have an amazing system that people can also install on their cell phones, and a city application that give them a lot of benefits. For example, they can also monitor their energy spending. They can also see the public transportation lines and when they will come and so on. So the city that really invests a lot into innovation and new technology. Barcelona, the host of Smart City Expo, every year has almost whole surface of the city covered with Wi-Fi, and that is one of the biggest preconditions to start building sensors everywhere that can help you out. So we have a lot of cities. I don't even want to start with the United States that has a national competition, Smart City Challenge by the Department of Transport, that are giving away awards to the cities. So cities are applying for the challenge and making themselves more smart and more sustainable. So there's a lot of examples, and this smart city market is rapidly advancing, and in the last couple of years it has reached an amazing growth, and we are just looking forward to seeing this trend continuing in the following years.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier when we were speaking that already over 20 teams have applied for this challenge, so we can expect Belgrade becoming smarter very soon.
We hope so.
Actually, I think Strawberry Energy is a company from Belgrade, and today they are, I would say, responsible for London being one of the smart cities because of their strawberry bench, I think.
Strawberry benches and strawberry trees.
Yeah.
They made it to London successfully, and they're installing their solutions to London, and we're so happy to see that Serbian company. We've been talking with them a lot. We know them. They will be willing to help us with this edition of the competition. So we're really happy when we managed to connect with successful people, with successful stories, because what they are doing now, the new edition of their product is also emitting Wi-Fi at the same time. It also has an SOS button that you can call if you need any assistance, and apart from charging your phone. And it's an amazing product that really changes the urban environment wherever it's installed.
Yeah. Can you tell us something about the challenge from the perspective of how the program is structured, how long does the challenge last, and of course the mentors and all the stuff?
Okay, the challenge started 1 month ago on the 25th of July. We opened applications, and the applications will close in less than 4 days, if I'm not mistaken, 28th of August on Sunday. And after that, we will select best 10 teams that will move forward with the competition. So we will have 10 finalists. All of those 10 finalists will enter education and mentorship program. The program is specially designed for them, for people who are intending on starting their own IT company that is focused on smart cities. It's intended to help them to do it. First 2 weeks we're going to have idea review with the mentors. Mentors will be from ICT Hub, people who have years of experience working with the IT sector. We will also have smart city mentors, people who also have experience in implementing smart city technologies into different cities worldwide. We will review all of the ideas. We'll see if something needs improvement, and then we will give them guidance. So after the first 2 weeks, after they met with their mentors, they will be more aware in which track they should go. After that, they will have basic startup education, how to start a company, how to create a business model, how to acquire customers, validation, how to continue developing your product, how to launch it, how to do marketing, and then also a really important part about how to attract investors and how to pitch. That will be especially focused right before our final event in December, which will be somewhere around mid-December, where we will have all 10 teams that went through training and mentorship program presenting their ideas, their applications to a large audience with as many investors as we can find and experts. So they will have the opportunity to present their ideas to the world, and then the jury will decide which three teams are going to be the winning teams. And for the winning teams, we have prepared a really special package. First off, with the awards, we have 3 months of free working space in ICT Hub in Belgrade for all 3 teams, for all members of the teams, which is really a great way to start and further develop your products. And then the first team will also get a free 2-week-long study trip to one of the world's smart cities, and that will be one of the smart cities I talked about. I still cannot say which one, but we will have 2 weeks of visiting different hubs, talking with different successful startups, meeting the experts, exchanging ideas, meeting with the local authorities that are implementing smart cities policies and so on. So it will be a really beneficial study trip for them. And then the first team also will receive a free 2-minute animated video in order to promote their product, which is also really great when you're just starting. That was just the awards part. Then we have the money fund that is provided by the company Telenor Serbia. They have secured 10,000 euros for the best 3 teams, and they will have the access to this fund alongside with having the partnership agreement with Telenor. That means that they will be obliged to form their own companies and start working hard on developing their products. Telenor will have 10% equity in those companies and will provide them with much more than just these initial funds. There will be potential access to all 200 million Telenor users worldwide. They will have access to Telenor's analytical tools, which is really a great asset. They will have endorsement and help with launching the applications through their platforms. So Telenor will literally stand behind that application and help them to push this application to a worldwide fame. So, but what is the best part is that all 10 teams that were in the training before the final events, we will still continue with the training even when we found who the winner is. We'll continue for 4 more months, and the people who didn't manage to get into the 3 winning teams will have the opportunity to further develop their products. They will also have feedback from the jury, feedback from investors, so they will fix everything that was wrong with their products. And at the end, we'll have 2 large investment funds that are looking, they will be observing the competition throughout the whole course of it, and we have more potential investments if they like the solutions that are presented there. So we're literally providing the whole pack for someone to start their IT smart city business.
Which really sounds awesome. So the guys will get knowledge, they will get access to investors, get a lot of meet people who are interested in the same topics.
Connections, workspace, mentors that are really professional. Funding, everything.
Yeah, you also, topics. You mentioned earlier that there are some topics, so...
Yes, we have 4 main areas that we're focusing in. I will not say that they're exclusive, but we really want to guide the potential applicants for these 4 areas. One of them is transportation, because that is one of the backbones of every city. the functioning and sustainable transportation system. Then we have tourism, commerce, and ecology. So these are the 4 areas that we want to cover. However, if we receive an application that is treating a different problem, but we see potential, we will not reject it. So we are not limited to only these 4, but we are focused on these. So we together with the authorities here, with the city of Belgrade primarily, and with other stakeholders, we have come to conclusion that these 4 areas are key burning issues in Serbian cities that we want to solve.
Good, cool. And what is the number? Teams apply. So what is the number of people that make the team?
Yeah, we have up to 3 members of the team. So that means the team can be either 2 or 3 members. We don't accept individual applications this year, but the teams can apply. Only maybe 3 of them, but they can have external support. So we're not limiting that. But as long as 3 teams are officially registered and they're only 3 members of the team can receive all these benefits.
Yeah, of course. You also said that you're focusing on software solutions, but hardware is also welcome.
Hardware is welcome if there is already a developed solution that will work. We have a deadline for people who enter the program. We have the deadline till the 5th of December this year to have at least a prototype of an application. So if they're already developing hardware that is working with the application, if those 2 are connected and working together and they can be used at least until the 5th of December, we're very open to that. We're really looking for some solutions that will actually be able to be implemented in Serbian cities. So we will be the most happy if after this competition we have at least maybe one team that implemented their ideas into Serbian cities successfully. So we're not limited to that. We're looking for quality solutions.
Yeah, of course. I would like to come back to you from the Smart City Challenge. Can you tell us what inspired you to work on this project? What inspires you generally in life, as they all say? What gets you up in the morning?
I actually come from a very different background. I studied political science and international relations, and I was always moved by the ideas of making the communities better and more efficient. At first, when I was studying, I was thinking about changing the communities through political aspect, through reforms and so on. But I found out that it's not for me in that process. So we started an NGO that was focused on local problems. It was focused on working directly with the local authorities in order to help solve these issues. And as I told you, I always like to notice some interesting solutions wherever I go. When we had this idea, it was because of our colleague Masha. She spent 8 years abroad and she worked in some startups and some tech companies. She came here. We reconnected after 8 long years, and then we started talking. We had this project management side. She had this a bit tech geeky side. And she also experienced the Smart City Challenge in London. So that was the original idea. We said, okay, let's try to do it because we saw the potential. We are promoting IT entrepreneurship. We're making the Serbian cities better. So it's still helping local communities. That is one of my main goals, why I work for this project, why I'm so passionate about it. It is because I think we can change the face of Serbian cities. Maybe not in the first year, but definitely with this pioneer initiative, we think that in several years we can definitely make a big change.
Cool. And today, after all your experience in working on several projects, working abroad, traveling, What would you advise a 20-year-old self?
Do exactly the same. Definitely, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm happy with the choices I made, and I think that one of the most important things was this, as you mentioned, traveling. That is something that really made me who I am today, and made me a person that is well aware of the whole environment around him. And I think that everyone should start traveling and just connect with other people more. Yes, networking is really important. Networking with people from here, yes, definitely. You should go to as many events such as this, and I congratulate that you already started on doing that. That's a big step. But also going on the events such as these abroad is something amazing. Once you have a network of people in every country in the world, and when you feel down and you know that you can actually call anyone from Colombia to Japan and just go there and sleep for free, that's something amazing. And then when you can also have a business idea and then work with them together from one side of the world to the other, that's something that cannot be described. So definitely traveling, networking, and just believing in yourself and never giving up.
Cool, thank you. Are there any questions from the audience? Would anybody want to know something more about the challenge, about Đorđe, or anything?
Yeah,
please.
What is the most exciting project do you think, or top 3 projects do you think are
That
coming up?
Here on this challenge.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I cannot talk about that at all at this moment. Because we still keep the received applications a secret, and since I'm a member of the jury, I'm not supposed to go through them in detail. So I cannot say anything yet. We hope to get really good projects out of this, but we'll see. Make sure to follow us. We will make this public. And we hope that this is one of the goals of the project, to make it as public as possible so people can see what is going on. And we want to present it in a way that ordinary people that have nothing to do with IT, nothing to do with smart cities, can actually see how this benefits their everyday lives.
Cool. Please.
Random question, kind of more out of curiosity, but so you mentioned the city of Belgrade will work with you guys, and I'm guessing that for a lot of these applications, there's only so much that you can do. Making an application for a smart city if the city isn't working with you.
Definitely.
But, like as an example, let's say somebody want to make a phone app that lets you charge and use your phone to like Bus Plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the city of Belgrade, have they expressed interest to actually work with your teams on integrating their apps with the actual technology that the city uses? Is there any sort of cooperation that might be foreseen in that regard?
Well, first of all, you already have that application. You can actually use your phone to pay for the Bus Plus ticket. I think but you need to be an MTS user, so it's not for everyone, unfortunately. But yes, that's a really a proper question. That was the first thing that we thought of when we started with this project. We said, okay, if we get some good ideas, how are we going to implement them? And the first stop was to go to the city of Belgrade and talk openly with them. So we had meetings with people from the mayor's office. We had meetings with the people from the main architect of the city's office, people from city council. We received support from the city of Belgrade. However, this is still a political issue, but we believe things are changing. We're having a much more open dialogue with them, and we also learned a lot how the system works itself. There's a lot of things that are being developed in the background, like the backend system that not anyone knows about, and we got the opportunity to find out about those things. So we had some private meetings with people that are in charge of developing those ideas and implementing those solutions. So they are willing to observe the whole competition and see if they like something to be implemented in the city of Belgrade. This is why we didn't limit ourselves only to Belgrade. We want to help out all the cities. So maybe some solutions will not be applicable to Belgrade. Maybe they will be applicable to Novi Sad, Subotica, or even some smaller cities in central Serbia or South Serbia. But we tend to have at least one representative of the city of Belgrade in the jury, in the final jury. So, well, and you know politicians, they like PR. So they would like to see, they would like to be seen as people helping young people in their IT ventures. So we think that we will have, we cannot say that with certainty, but we're working on it. We're working hard on it since day one.
Is anybody here planning on applying for the competition? Oh, there's one, two.
Okay.
Many
Four?
of them.
Okay, good.
Any questions, guys?
Actually, I have one. Does the idea have to be something brand new, or we can apply with some improved technology that already exists?
You need to have something original in your idea. So you cannot, let's say, invent a new Uber and then just say mine is better. Why? Because I made it. But you need to make some significant changes to it and make it somehow original. And you need to demonstrate that originality to us. So bear in mind that we will have large investors that are going to go through the applications, and you know how investors are. They will ask a lot of questions, especially about that. So you need to present why your idea needs to exist and why is it better than the other older solution, and how it will not be a competition or it will defeat that solution in the market. So you just need to be really precise on what you want to do. You're welcome. Yeah, but we have a really strict rule, like no using of like already used code. Please, like if somebody is using a code, they will be disqualified. So you need to use your own code. Start from the very beginning. That's really important.
When you say using your own code, you mean like...
We don't want anyone copying somebody else's work and using it as their own.
Yeah, of course, but if someone made that content public, in that case, is it okay to use that code?
If it's open source. If it's,
yeah, of course. Okay, cool. Yeah. Any other questions? I saw a lot of hands for applying for the competitions.
Yeah.
Competition.
Do we need to make the applications available for all the operating systems?
We're looking for Android applications at the moment because we're focused on the Serbian market. Android has the largest share in the Serbian market. So this year, Android applications.
Why only 3 team members? Why just only 3?
Well, that was something that was the idea from the very beginning, and something that was negotiated with the sponsorship deal, and something that we budgeted for. Later on, we discovered that maybe it's not the happiest solution, but we will definitely keep mark of these smaller issues that we have, and we will change it next year. But it's just a matter that of contractual obligations that we have.
Okay, but can we have some external help with some?
Yeah, as I said, yeah.
Friends,
Yes. As long as the 3 members, the maximum 3 members, are the official competitors, they will get all the benefits. But the helpers, the external help, they can also participate in forming the company later on.
Okay.
So it's not a limitation. You can help each other, and just you have to select 3 chosen ones. That will be.
I'm thinking from Japan to Colombia. That's my
Of course, I understand.
Anybody else? Okay.
If you're too shy to ask questions, you can always approach me later on.
Yeah, of course, we have the networking part after this, so please. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Đorđe.
Thank you for having me.
And see you all next month.